I'm Joe. By the end of this video, I'll tell you exactly how worried I am about two of America's closest trade partners who just started building an exit plan from the US economy. Welcome back to Joe's Not Worried About It, where we turn market anxiety into profit. Most people see Canada and Mexico as reliable neighbors, but lately they've been acting more like cautious investors, quietly diversifying away from the American engine that built them. Because while everyone's focused on global wars and the US elections, these two massive trading partners just quietly started hedging against American dependence. Let's start with Canada. From January to April 2025, Canadian exports to the US dropped by 26%. That's not a small number. It's a huge crack in our trade foundation. Over 54,000 manufacturing jobs are just gone, and the federal government responded with emergency subsidies and a $6.5 billion pivot package. But that's not the juicy bit, not at all. So the interesting thing here is that Canada's share of exports to the US just hit a historic low, only 68%. And for a country that once sent 75% of its trade across the border, this is a big deal. And what does Prime Minister Mark Carney say? The old US-Canada relationship is over. Not changed, not renegotiated, just plain over. Well, and Mexico's quietly breaking up with us. Mexico is taking a much quieter approach, but the intention is still the same. They're investing in domestic energy, AI-integrated tech, and global diversification. This isn't about defending NAFTA 2.0 or chasing new exemptions. It's about preparing to walk away when the next round of tariffs hit. And the US will likely test that very soon, judging by all the public rhetoric. So what's really happening here? The US-Mexico trade bloc used to be completely bulletproof, but now both trade partners are quietly insulating themselves from us. So what's the catch, and why isn't this immediately apparent? Now, let's not get carried away. The North American supply chain is welded together. They're still our partners. A single car part might actually cross the US-Canada border 7 times before final assembly. And for Mexico, the USMCA still protects most of its exports. So it's not a divorce, it's a separation. And the lawyers are already on speed dial. Exiting the US orbit isn't happening today, but it's starting to happen. The political will is there from both sides. The investments are already moving. So what's the investor takeaway? If your portfolio is built on the assumption that America is always the final stop for its neighbors, you need to recheck that math. Canada's actively courting Europe and Asia. Mexico is quietly building resilience through its own industrialization, and both are positioning themselves for a future where the US is optional, not inevitable. So, am I worried about Canada and Mexico leaving the US orbit? You guessed it, not even a little. I think this strategic shift is exactly what global resilience looks like, and if you're watching closely, you can ride that shift before the headlines even catch up. The important lesson here is that Mexico is growing up into a real industrial player, and we need other options than China. So, this actually might be a good thing in the long term. So keep watching it. And if you want the full playbook on how to position for this decoupling, drop a comment below, let me know, and subscribe for the next breakdown. Stay curious, stay focused, and most importantly, don't worry about it. You know I'm not.